as we continue to celebrate International Women's Day, let us now take a look at a phenomenal woman who has dedicated her life to helping persons living with HIV but don't know what to do once they find out their status. Evelyn Simaloi has been living with the virus for 16 years and is a mother of 2. Her story is one of passion and strong will to help women like her live a normal and fruitful life. Here now is that story.
They say the act of forgiveness is never really for the other person, but a selfish act that allows you to move on with your life.
And that happiness can only come with forgiveness. How I managed to forgive the one who infected me, forgive my parents, forgive the world, forgive the men, forgive the one who sexually abused me. That forgiveness is not easy to do.
In 1998, Evelyn Simaloi, fresh out of high school at the time, was struggling to fit into a family she was clearly not welcome in.
My stepmom had a hotel outside of the compound where we stayed, a fish and chips hotel cafeteria. So I went there one day and just ate, and then I didn't pay. And I was stopped by the workers and they said, no, mama alisema hapa ni watoto wake peke yake wanakula bure. And I asked her, na mimi ni nini wake, mimi ni mawe yake. And you know, because they would really rub it in that I'm a stepchild. So we kind of got into a scuffle. And then I went back to my room. It was a servant's quarter. And my mom was told, I was reported on to my stepmom. So she came and she was very angry and came with a rungu and broke down the door and beat me up and kicked me out of the place.
After searching for a place to stay since she could not go back home or live with a relative, Evelyn found comfort at a home of a friend in Kibera.
And I used to like wash his clothes and everything. Slowly, of course, he began admiring me, and he had a girlfriend at the time whom he ended up dumping for me.
This was Evelyn's first and only boyfriend. Though they were happy together, he had a secret.
This guy felt so ill, he had very high fever, he was shaking and all, and to a point of he was coughing sputum that was pink like flesh, So we rushed him to Kenyatta Hospital, and at some point he began just not wanting to see me, and I couldn't understand why. I had no job, nothing. I have his house with me, and so the next time I went to visit him in the hospital, he had been discharged. I asked him how come he just doesn't want to see me. He said, you'll find out for yourself.
Prior to her significant other being sick, Evelyn had applied for a job which required her to test for HIV. Everything finally made sense.
And there was this Indian doctor, and he was all stone-faced, no smile on the face, and it was those days back then. So he said, okay, Evelyn, you have AIDS, but don't worry, you have at least up to 5 years to live. And I said, what?
Typical of anyone trying to cover up psychological wounds, Evelyn slipped into alcohol and drug abuse, only to face another dark moment in her life.
As I was walking back home, because we had gone to take changa and some changa then in Kibera, it was around 3 a.m. and this guy that had been eyeing me for so long followed me, and so he said he can escort me home, so I can, as in he can get me safely home. So me and my highness, I was very, very high, and also on junkies, very high. He got me home and got me into the house. You're safe now? Yeah, I'm safe. Okay. So he shut the door. My bedroom door. This is for my ex's cousin's house, and began to strip.
Her rape resulted in a pregnancy.
I thought to myself, okay, maybe now God is giving me a chance at least to be a mother before I die, because all I know is that I'm dying anytime soon. So I was told, due to the infection that I had, the GUD that I had, they advised if I could abort, and I refused. I'm thinking now, maybe they discovered my status and discussed it and thought, rather than telling me, I just abort the child and and wait for my time or something.
She had the baby. It was her wake-up call. She started researching on HIV, researching on antiretroviral drugs, and even started talking about her status.
And I confidently faced people ready for you to dare stigmatize me, I feel like there's a level of change, but it's not yet there.
Because Evelyn understands the need for a support group, she now runs a help group on Facebook. The group, though closed to the public, is a resource for those living with HIV in terms of information. It also provides psychological support.
When I discovered, it took me 7 good years to ever talk. At least today, people come, I'm this month's pregnant, I just discovered last year, I just discovered last month, just discovered last week. People even have the guts to tell me, please take me to go and test, and we go and find, okay, she's positive or he's positive, let's get on treatment. There's a huge difference, and I believe it's it's because of the outreach programs maybe that have been there, the education forums that have been there on HIV. Work has been done, to spread the awareness, but it's not yet enough. There's still a gap.
Because of such forums, Evelyn has managed to help many HIV-positive women, especially expectant women, like the one KTN found out was given a misprescription at a local clinic.
So they told me to take it once a day, after every 24 hours.
For Grace, she was already on half the dose that she's supposed to be on.
Empowering herself with knowledge about HIV, Evelyn used this to get her second child.
We had a procedure called post-exposure prophylaxis, PEP. So he was put on semi-ARVs for 28 days, in which we were allowed to now just have sexual intercourse without the use of a condom. And it was my, what are those days called? It was my ovulation days, so I managed to get pregnant, and then we went back to using the condom, and he's still negative.
And she has one dream:
to reach far and wide as I can, to tell people or remind people that this is really not a death sentence, it's a life sentence. We just need to know how to live with it. Given a chance, I would be so happy to at least be given, even if it's just half an hour, to speak to one person, to speak to one heart that will say, okay, because of what I've had today, let me just go find out my status. If they find they're positive, I'm ever available. My email address, haliako@gmail.com. I'm ever so available. People to call me, people to email me, tell me this is how, and I don't know where to go, where to start. I love to show them the direction.
Evelyn is not employed. In order to survive, she makes Maasai ornaments, and this is what gets her by, and sometimes it's not enough. But she is proof that you don't need a lot of money in order to make a difference in someone's life. She is using what she has to change the lives of tens of people. Catherine Omwanto, KTN for the Survivor Series.